Actors have an important job. Delivering a believable performance while making a film entertaining can be a challenge with a lot of weight and money riding on them. Now this is much harder when there is something slightly off about a character's performance. Usually this comes down to an accent. Accents often trip up actors because it takes a lot of time and effort to break out of your natural accent. Some succeed, however some epically fail. So today on Beyond the Screen we're going to be counting down our list of the top 10 worst accents ever attempted in movies. Let's jump in. Coming in at 10, Gerard Butler, every movie ever, but mostly The Bounty Hunter.
As much as it pains me to say this, and it really does, I gotta take you to jail.
Gerard Butler is Scottish, we all know this. We know this because he literally can't do any other accent than Scottish American, and this was proven when The Bounty Hunter was released in 2010.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Starring Jennifer Aniston, Gerard Butler and literally no one else of merit, the film follows a bounty hunter who learns that his next target is his ex-wife. Yep. Grade A storytelling, obviously. Now, once again, like in all of Gerard Butler's films, he attempts to quell his Scottish accent by doing an American one, which never seems to work out for him, and Butler seems to be aware of this. In one interview, he admitted that when he would do an American accent, his friends would say that he sounded like an idiot. Very fitting. Coming in at 9, Anne Hathaway, One Day. This one fills me with pain. It's always a little bit harder when it's your accent someone is unintentionally butchering.
We were at university. I've always spoke you.
Released back in 2011, One Day follows a man and a woman who, after spending the night together after their college graduation, are shown each year on the same date to see where they are in their lives. They are sometimes together, they are sometimes not. Yeah, it's dumb, but let's discuss anyway. Now, Hathaway is of course American, but she was cast to play the British lead in this film, with her opting to go for a Yorkshire accent which did not go over well.
And old you won't look after you when you're old.
Even James Corden made fun of her face to face during the Late Late Show rap battle. I quote, "This isn't just me, it's for the whole UK. Mad at your awful British accent in the movie One Day." He's not wrong, it's atrocious. Coming in at 8, Julia Roberts, Mary Riley. Mary Riley isn't the greatest film to begin with, even though its cast is completely stacked with the likes of Julia Roberts, John Malkovich, Glenn Close and Michael Sheen. Released back in 1996, the film follows a housemaid who falls in love with Dr. Jekyll and his dark counterpart, Mr. Hyde. Julia Roberts of course plays the housemaid, an Irish servant to John Malkovich. However, Roberts' performance is just straight up awkward, and she uses the word I before almost every vowel in order to pronounce a word.
Sir? He said you have an illness.
Rookie mistake. Sounds like she's mocking the accent instead of attempting to speak it. Now, I wasn't the only one to notice this. The Razzies also did and nominated her for the Worst Actress award. Coming in at 7, Tom Cruise, Far and Away. Now, before I start bad-mouthing Tom Cruise, I love this movie. I really do, and I hate to include it on our list, but it could not be avoided. Released back in 1992 and directed by the incredible Ron Howard, this drama follows a young Irish couple who flee to the United States, but subsequently struggle to obtain land and to prosper. Now, like our previous number, an Irish accent was heavily butchered by none other than Tom Cruise. But not Nicole Kidman, she can do no wrong. She can do every accent. She's the best. Apparently Hollywood is in dire need of an Irish dialect coach because Cruise's accent throughout this film is truly appalling. However, one scene takes the cake. Cruise bullies Kidman, yelling, I quote, "Tell me you like my hat." Sadly she can't because we have no idea what the hell you're saying, Tom.
Tell me you like my hat.
You're not wearing a hat.
Say it. Say you like my hat.
You're not wearing a hat!
Coming in at 6, James Van Der Beek, Varsity Blues. Another one of my many guilty pleasures at this number, Varsity Blues was released back in 1999 and follows a backup quarterback who is chosen to lead a Texas football team to victory after the star quarterback is injured. Now this film was released during the early days of Dawson's Creek, when the young actor was becoming the hot new teen commodity in Hollywood. But you can't help but feel this film destroyed his career just ever so slightly. Now set in Texas, Van Der Beek of course needed a Texan accent. However, either he lied about being able to do one or producers just didn't care, because his accent is borderline cartoony.
But I don't want your life.
It was later revealed that he struggled so much he had to write all of his lines phonetically in a script, yet that didn't seem to help much either. In at 5, Brad Pitt, The Devil's Own. Yes, again we have another terrible Irish accent, this time though at the hands of Brad Pitt. Released back in 1997, The Devil's Own follows a police officer who uncovers the real identity of his house guest, an IRA terrorist in hiding. Now this was Pitt's first time playing an Irish character, and it shows, with the actor falling victim to the I mistake to mask his non-existent accent, much like Julia Roberts did in Mary Riley. No matter how hard he tried, he could not make his Irish accent believable.
You're from Belfast?
Aye.
I need that money, Tom.
Crazier still, he went on to book more Irish roles. Very bizarre. In at 4, Jon Voight, Anaconda. Anaconda is one of my favourite guilty pleasures. Yep, I will openly admit that to all of you. Judge away. Released back in 1997, starring Jon Voight, Jennifer Lopez, Eric Stoltz, and Owen Wilson, the film follows a National Geographic film crew who are taken hostage by a hunter, who forces them to join him in capturing the world's largest and deadliest snake. So dumb, but so great. Now, I still have no idea what accent Voight is trying to do in this film. It ranges from Spanish to Southern to even a little bit Irish. It's confusing to say the least.
I didn't want this to happen, people. Let's go, Westbridge! Okay.
And perhaps was the scariest part of this entire reptile monster movie. That says a lot. And coming in at number 3, we have the daughter of our previous number, Angelina Jolie, Alexander. I love Angelina Jolie, but Alexander was truly abysmal. Released back in 2004 and starring Colin Farrell, Anthony Hopkins, Angelina Jolie and Rosario Dawson, the film follows Alexander, the king of Macedonia and one of the greatest military leaders in the history of warfare, as he conquers much of the known world. Now, Jolie's accent in this film is just baffling. It's British but also Greek and sometimes American, I guess, and at times she sounds more like a harsh Russian than the beautiful Greek Olympias. Honestly though, Colin Farrell, who played her son, which was weird because they're so close in age, was just as terrible with a borderline Irish-British accent, making their lineage utterly confusing. It makes no sense.
Where have you lost your mind? Civil war, clan against clan chaos.
Yes. And you would win.
In at 2, Keanu Reeves, Dracula. Oh Keanu, I love you, I do. We all do. But Bram Stoker's Dracula may be the worst thing you have ever done in your long prolific career. Now don't get me wrong, the film itself is great, really good. Released back in 1992 and directed by Francis Ford Coppola, Bram Stoker's Dracula stars Keanu, Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder and Anthony Hopkins, to name a few. Follows the centuries-old vampire Count Dracula as he arrives in England to seduce his barrister's fiancée and inflict havoc. Now, I'm allowed to criticize Reeves because he taints my homeland's accent. I won't say that it's unbearable, but it's dainty and aggressively high pitched. However, it gets worse. Following an encounter with Dracula, the accent descends into madness, as he incorporates a much deeper voice to sound weary and more British, I guess. I mean, just take a listen.
I've seen many strange things already. Bloody wolves chasing me through some blue inferno.
Does that sound British to you? No. And finally, coming in at number 1, Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins. Look, I know this is an obvious choice, but I can't not put this at number 1. I just can't. Yes, Dick Van Dyke is endearing in this 1964 musical, but it does not hide the fact that his accent is the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Now, we all know the story of Mary Poppins, a magical nanny who uses music and adventure to help 2 children become closer to their father. Now, Van Dyke plays a chimney sweeper, a role which required him to speak and sing in a British Cockney accent, and it was a disaster.
Comical poem, suitable for the occasion, extemporized and thought up before your very eyes.
And is considered to be one of the worst accents in cinematic history. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any terrible accents that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below and perhaps we can do a part 2. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another Beyond the Screen vid. Till next time, see you later.